the Lord tells Joshua, hey, have 12 men from the 12 tribes of Israel go back into the Jordan. After everyone had crossed, go back into the Jordan and collect 12 stones and take those stones and put them in the encampment of the people and set up this memorial. He says, this will be a reminder to you of what the Lord did in removing the Israelites out of bondage and into this new land that he's led them. And then the Lord not only says that, but he tells Joshua, when the next generation asks, what are these stones all about? You're to tell them what the Lord did in getting you across this river that was at flood stage, that the Lord made a way where there was no way. I mean, the story of that's amazing. The priests go down carrying the ark and they put both feet in the water and the Lord parts the water. And based on the geography, it's about 18 miles upstream. They didn't even see where the waters were being stopped up, but they're all able to cross. And then they get these these stones. And so I also think about the fact that the memorial that the Lord wanted them to create was not like man's memorial, right? Like it wasn't the Statue of Liberty or the Arc de Triomphe or, some tower that commemorates. He's like, just go get 12 stones, bring them in here. Because it's more about God than it is the memorial, right? Still, it's important that we set up those memorials in our lives to remember what God has done, to look back on his faithfulness past and trust him that he's going to be faithful today. So that's a beautiful thing that they would set up these memorials. But a really unfortunate scripture comes then in Judges chapter 2, where we're told that Joshua passed away. And after Joshua passed away, the next generation that was to come hadn't heard about what had happened. They didn't know about what the Lord had done for Israel. And so 2 things I want to stress in this time is, number one, it's important that we set up those memorials to remember what God has done, but it's important that we point back to that, not only for ourselves, but for the next generation. Because I don't want the next generation to forget or not know of all that the Lord has done. But the other thing is, as we remember God's faithfulness, that we would say, Lord, it's not about the memorial, but it's about you. And we remember you and we worship you and we thank you for another day. And we thank you for another opportunity to sing your praise. And we thank you for all that you've done. And we thank you for all that you're doing. And so we lift him up and we worship him and we look to him. And I just want to draw you to that place today. That our worship would be an opportunity not just to remember, but to worship the Lord and say, Lord, thank you. And maybe today you're in a place where it's hard to see those things. Worship him still. Maybe you're in a place where it's clearly evident. Worship him all the more. And